Fermin Lopez is one of the best attacking midfielders in the world at the moment. After his breakthrough season with Barcelona, he became the best player at the Olympics for Spain and led them to a gold medal. Next season might be the moment for Fermin Lopez to truly establish himself as the next great Spanish midfielder. So you would think that Barcelona aren't really in the need for a new attacking midfielder, right? Well, a lot of Barcelona fans don't really understand why Barcelona have just bought Dani Olmo from Leipzig. With someone like Fermin Lopez already at Barcelona, it just seemed like a stupid move. So why did they actually sign him? There has to be some good explanation for it, and in this video we'll find out what that is. First of all, Dani Olmo is just the perfect player for Hansi Flick's Barcelona. To see why, we have to take a look at Hansi Flick's midfield tactics. See, Hansi Flick likes to play with a double pivot in midfield behind an attacking midfielder. And you guessed it, that attacking midfielder role, there are probably not 5 players in the world better at it than Dani Olmo. For this role, you want a player who is intelligent, who is smart in his positioning, who understands the runs of others, who has great playmaking skills, and who has a shot from distance. A player like Thomas Müller really. He was the one to play in this position for Hansi Flick at Bayern Munich. If you think about it, Thomas Müller and Dani Olmo are quite similar to each other in terms of playing style and position. For Spain at the Euros, where Dani Olmo was one of the most impactful players on the team, he also played as that attacking midfielder, and he proved to be perfect for that role. His intelligent positioning and technical brilliance helped Spain get past a lot of hard opponents. Long story short, the positive side of Dani Olmo is just that he's one of the best attacking midfielders in the world, and he fits Hansi Flick's system like a glove. So with him, Barcelona could go on to become a really scary team next season. It's not only that though, Dani Olmo offers you more than just being a world-class attacking midfielder, he is also versatile. Attacking midfield is Dani Olmo's best position, that is true. With Leipzig and especially with Spain, we have often seen the best of Dani Olmo when he was playing in that attacking midfielder role. However, he can also be world-class either from the right or the left flank. In the past for Leipzig, he really has played in all 3 positions, so it's definitely also an asset that he brings to the table for Barcelona. And you might say, well, why is versatility so important? Well, Barcelona have a really busy match schedule, and players need to get enough rest throughout the season. Apart from that, there will always be players who get injured. I mean, it's Barcelona. There are always a lot, and I mean a lot, of injuries. At left, Barcelona have Rafinha and Nico Williams. Well, it's kinda hard to tell right now whether Barcelona are going to sign him or not. But one thing's for sure, you also have Dani Olmo as an extra option in this role. At the right, there is Lamine Yamal, Rafinha is an option too, Pau Victor as well, and then there is Dani Olmo as an extra option. Believe me when I say that Hansi Flick will really be happy that he also has Dani Olmo as an option in these roles. That's just the way the season goes. I mean, remember the days where players like Ilias Akomash and Azabde had to come in and save the day when the likes of Ansu Fati were out injured? Now those days are over, because we have a player like Dani Olmo who is world class in 3 different positions. There is, however, one piece of truth that we cannot avoid right here. Barcelona would have never signed Dani Olmo if it wasn't for the way he played at the Euros. Now, it is true that Barcelona have already been linked to Dani Olmo a lot in the last couple of years, but the Euros are the reason why Joan Laporta woke up one day and decided to destroy Fermin Lopez's career. And you know what's even funnier? At the start of the Euros, Dani Olmo wasn't even in the starting 11 for Spain. Nico Williams played at the left, Pedri was the first choice as the attacking midfielder, and Lamine Yamal played at the right. It is only because of Toni Kroos injuring Pedri that Dani Olmo got his real chance to shine. But I mean, hats off, he did really take that opportunity. Dani Olmo was instrumental to Spain's victory with goals against both Germany and France. Goals that also illustrated the kind of player that he is. Smart, great positioning and technically brilliant. Dani Olmo at the Euros was quite a player, and it is that version of him that convinced Barcelona to go out and sign him this summer. I could end the video right here and right now, cause we have basically talked about every main reason why Barcelona signed Dani Olmo. He is a world-class attacking midfielder who is just perfect for Hansi Flick's system, he is versatile, and the Euros reminded Barcelona of what they were missing out on. However, for the sake of understanding Dani Olmo and the impact of his transfer to Barcelona, we also have to talk about the dark side of Dani Olmo and the negatives of this transfer to Barcelona. And where better to start than with Hansi Flick's tactics and Barcelona's squad. The harsh truth is that Barcelona didn't really need Dani Olmo. I mean, Dani Olmo's best position is as an attacking midfielder, and now just take a look at the Barcelona squad. There is İlkay Gündoğan, who is perfect as an attacking midfielder, and he is just as great as Dani Olmo or even better in terms of link-up play and positioning. You can tell me what you want about how good Dani Olmo is, but he's not really better than what Barcelona already have if you think about Gündoğan. And you might say, well, maybe Hansi Flick just wanted more squad depth. But Barcelona already have squad depth in the attacking midfield role, because Fermin Lopez also fits that role like a glove. So at Barcelona we basically already have two world-class attacking midfielders. And then don't forget that there's still Pedri too. I just think that he'll probably play in a deeper role this season, because of the depth at attacking midfields, and because he might actually be better when he can feel more of the ball as a deep playmaker. But Pedri's role at Barcelona is a topic that deserves a video in itself. Apart from Pedri, however, there are still other options. There is Pablo Torre, there is Noah Darvich. They are also perfect for that attacking midfield role. And when it comes to that left and right wing position, Nico Williams would be the logical go-to signing at left wing. He is a pure left winger with pace. He can give Barcelona what they lacked last season after the departure of Ousmane Dembélé, a fast player in transitions with S-tier dribbling skills. That right wing position is then again claimed by Lamine Yamal, and with Rafinha there's still depth in both of these positions. And if you really wanted to have more depth at left or at right wing, then why not just sign a player whose natural position is as a left or as a right winger, and not Dani Olmo, whose best position is still as the attacking midfielder. So, long story short, Dani Olmo really feels like a luxury signing that strengthens Barcelona in areas where they already were quite strong. Maybe Hansi Flick just doesn't really count on Gündoğan or on Rafinha. In that case, it would make sense to go after Dani Olmo, since he can play in both of their positions. Even then though, there is more to it. If Dani Olmo would have been a free agent, then I totally get why Barcelona would have signed him. Now, however, they signed him for 60 million euros. That's a lot of money, definitely if you consider that Dani Olmo's ideal position is the same position that Gündoğan, Fermin Lopez, Noah Darvich and Pablo Torre like to play. I have to be honest here, I really trusted Joan Laporta 2 years ago, but with time he has become more and more questionable. Signings like Ferran Torres and Vitor Roque costed Barcelona a lot of money, and those players did not deliver. Now, I'm not saying Dani Olmo wouldn't play well, but 60 million is a lot of money for a player with the same ideal position as Gündoğan and Fermin Lopez. And that's not even the worst of it. Dani Olmo has one big concern. He is prone to injuries. What if he never becomes consistent? Because in the last 3 seasons, Dani Olmo has never been injury-free. So don't be surprised if Dani Olmo never becomes a part of Hansi Flick's first 11 just because of injuries, and just ends up being an occasional rotational player. And I remind you, 60 million euros. The only positive here is that Hansi Flick and his staff are really cautious when it comes to keeping players fit. So we can only hope that Dani Olmo will not get injured this season just because of that. Oh yeah, one last negative about this transfer. Joan Laporta and Barcelona probably wouldn't have signed Dani Olmo if his name were to be, I don't know, Daniel Olmonen, and if he wasn't from La Masia. Of course, it is an advantage that Dani Olmo used to play at La Masia as a kid and that he's familiar with the Spanish way of playing that is always strongly resembles that of Barcelona. But Barcelona have to be careful with this La Masia bias. 1 year ago, it led them to sign Oriol Romeo, who ended up being a terrible signing. Now, unlike Oriol Romeo, I think Dani Olmo is good enough for Barcelona. But this transfer illustrates that Barcelona do still have the bias to sign ex-La Masia players, which isn't always a good thing. Anyway, that was it for today's video. Dani Olmo, in the end, is a really interesting player who perfectly fits Hansi Flick's system as that attacking midfielder. If he can stay injury-free, then he should be able to finally fulfill his Barcelona dream and become one of Barcelona's best players. Dani Olmo definitely isn't a bad signing or a misfit at Barcelona. It's just that Barcelona might have been better off strengthening areas that actually need strengthening. Because with the likes of Gündoğan and Fermin Lopez, you do still wonder why they were so keen on getting Dani Olmo in. Let's just hope that Hansi Flick knows what he's doing and that Dani Olmo can help Barcelona become a true machine again this season. Força Dani Olmo, and have a good day.